Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanam Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Narayanam Gurum Vande Sharanyam Bhakta Bandhavam Gauramanubhishtam Purnam Radhadasyam Pradayakam Nirupānugacārya Varyam Burūpamanjari Preshtakam Patita Pavana Karuniyam Yugacārya Narayanam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gaura Twise Namaha. Shama Sundara Shikanda Shikara Ismirahasar Murali Manohara Radhikara Sikamam Kripanide Swapriya Charana Kinkarim Kuru Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vrindai Tulasi Devi Ai Priyai Keshava Sacha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. So first of all, I begin offering my most humble obeisances to the dust of the lotus feet of Paramaradhyatama Shri Guru Pada Padma Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Paribrajacharya Ashtotara Satasi Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudeva. And to my most worshipable Shiksha and Sannyasa Guru Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Ashtotara Satasi Srimad Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. And to all Shri Rupano Gauriya Guru Varga, to all Tridandi Sannyasis, Brahmacharis, Vaishnavas, Vaishnavas, and to all the assembled devotees here today, my most respectful obeisances. By the causeless mercy of Srila Gurudeva and all Mahabhagavatas Acharyas, we are able to assemble here one more time. Verse 17. Tadanga Sangha Pramuda Kulendriyaha Keshamdu Kulam Kuchapatikamba Nanja Prativyodhum Alam Brajai Striyo Virasta Malabharana Kuru Dvaha. O Parikshit, due to the gopis' intimate association with Krishna, their senses were overwhelmed in bliss. The flower garlands around their necks broke and fell down. Their ornaments went topsy-turvy. Their hair became disheveled, and they were unable to keep their veils and blouses in place. Now the commentary of Srila Jiva Goswami Pada Vaishnava Toshani. The gopis fell into a state of helplessness due to their experience extreme bliss, and the Rasa dance came to a halt. This is the subject matter of this verse, and because of their close contact with Krishna, the gopis' joy came to a climax, resulting in the dysfunctioning of their senses. As a result, they're loosening their hair, inability to keep their veils and cloth covering their breasts in place. Now the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Sarata Darshini. So the gopis became completely overwhelmed from the bliss they got from the close association with Krishna. They became so agitated with unprecedented ecstasy that they were unable to keep the cloth covering their breasts in place. Now verse 18. Krishna Vikriditam Viksha Mummuhu Ke Charashri Istriyaha Kamardita Shashankascha Sagano Vishmito Bhavat. When the heavenly themselves, sitting in their planes in the sky, witnessed Bhagavan Shri Krishna's Rasa Krida, they became agitated with desire to meet him. The moon was also astonished, along with the stars and other planets. Now the commentary of Jiva Goswami Pada Vaishnava Toshani. So Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. He is God himself. So he is endowed with sweetness and other attributes to the fullest extent. So in the word Vikriditam, Vi means special and Kriditam means play. Therefore we use the term Rasa Krida, means the pastimes of Rasa Lila. Watching this very special, pleasurable pastime, the heavenly themselves became excited by amorous desire and felt anxious to be with Krishna. They were enchanted by observing how the gopis, they rendered direct service with intense love. First of all, the demigoddesses, they forgot their own lack of qualification to attain Krishna. And secondly, becoming bewildered, they lost awareness of their own bodies. Krishna's Rasa Lila was enjoyed during a very long night. It is not possible to perform various types of pleasurable pastimes in a short night. Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 33, 38 states, Brahmaratra Upavriti. This means that the night became equal to 1000 Chatur Yugas, according to the time scale of Brahma, means one night of Brahma. At the end of this long night, upon Krishna's insistence, the gopis returned to their homes. And this was only possible because of Yogamaya influence. Sridhara Swamipad, he stated that the moon and other planets, they were so astonished that they became stunned. This is actually an assumption because the movements of the moon and stars, etc., they are governed by the laws of astronomical science. So they slowed down in these unusual circumstances and moved in an opposite direction. In fact, Yamuna and other rivers, they stopped flowing and sometimes flowed backwards in order to facilitate the sweetness of Krishna's Leela. In the same way, the circular movements of the planets stopped. For many nights, Krishna was playing with gopis. But also, it indicates it was a very long night. One night, but very long. The reconciliation is that although the night progressed, one night stretched like almost infinitely. So it was in fact one night, but it lasted as if many nights were combined together to result in a long time. That's the understanding. Because the moon stopped moving, the planets stopped moving, so the time was standing still. If it is said that the heavenly themselves became helplessly attracted to Krishna, this shows the supreme charm of the amorous play of the Rasa Lila. This is justified because all the ecstatic emotions escalated to the supremest limit in the dancing and singing with Krishna, and the Rasa itself was controlling the whole event. The most fortunate Braja Sundaris exhibited great dexterity in their romantic sporting. Even Lakshmi rarely achieves such fortune. In this verse, it is saying, Kamardita, agitated by lusty desires. In the plural, it is used, but in other places, Kamardita, we can see in the singular verse. It means that there were many demigoddesses, not only one, feeling attraction for Krishna. But in the singular case, Kamardita is referring to the moon. Moon is only one, so the moon was feeling attracted to Krishna. Now the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sarartha Darshini. The demigoddesses became lusty for Krishna after observing his amorous play. And the moon also became attracted because it assumed a feminine mood, not as a Chandradeva demigod, but as a feminine mood. Because no any male body is allowed to watch Krishna's Rasa Lila. So therefore, Yogamaya, she covered the eyes of all the demigods, so they could not see things, only the demigoddesses they could. Now verse 19. Kritva tavantam atmanam yavatir gopayoshitaha rimesa bhagavam stabir atmaramopi lilaya. Bhagavan Shri Krishna is Atmaram, self-satisfied. Yet he expanded himself in as many forms as there were gopis in order to enjoy with each and every one of them. Now the commentary of Srila Jiva Goswami Pada Vaishnava Tushani. After finishing the Rasa dance, Krishna took some rest and then performed a special pastime. So this is explained in this verse. Krishna is Atmaram, self-satisfied. Yet he assumed as many forms as there were gopis and began to play with them. So this is the meaning of Atmanaha. Srimad Bhagavatam gives many references testifying to his all-pervading nature. For example, Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 9, 13 says, He has no inside, no outside, no front and no rear. Rather, He is all-pervading. He is not influenced by the passage of time, and due to compassion, He descended in a human-like form. According to this, Shri Krishna has a medium-sized human-like body. Even figure is all-pervasive. He can expand into many identical forms and many different incarnations. Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 69-2 gives an example of this. It is most astonishing that Shri Krishna, expanding His one form, simultaneously married 16,000 princesses in separate palaces. So He accepted many forms out of His own will, and at the end of the Leela, He became one again. Some gopis are married and some are not married, and their Purvaraga is described separately in chapters 21 and 22. Harivamsha also says that Bhagavan Shri Krishna called the married and the unmarried gopis to the Rasa Sthali and enjoyed with all of them in one night. He is Kalagya, the knower of the right time, and He enjoyed Himself to His full satisfaction and thus made His youth successful. Shri Rupa Goswami Prabhu has described these amorous pastimes in his Ujjvala Nilumani. Krishna exhibits two main features in this Rasa Leela. His full sweetness, which is the essence of His godhood, and His topmost wealth, and the peak of Prema Rasa, the ambrosia of divine love. He attracts the entire universe by His beauty, attributes, pastimes, and sweetness. The same Bhagavan has performed this Rasa Leela to extend His own special prema. This will be explained in detail in the coming chapters and has also been described in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Krishna is Atmarama, meaning that He enjoys to the fullest extent within Himself and with each of His devotees, who are like His own self. He manifested Himself in as many forms as there are gopis and performed amorous play with them in separate kunjas. Now the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Sarartha Darshini. Bhagavan Shri Krishna performed confidential pastimes with each gopi in separate kunjas. In order to do this, He expanded Himself into as many forms as there were gopis, married and unmarried. He is Atmarama, yet He enjoyed with the cowherd maidens. This has been described in Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 29, 42. So here the understanding is that this word Atmarama, it means that He is not alone enjoying, but He is enjoying by Himself, and all the associates that are there, especially the gopis, they were manifested by Krishna Himself for Him to enjoy. So it's not that He's enjoying with someone else. He's still enjoying by Himself, His own self, through these expansions that He created. So He is still Atmarama. So this is how we reconcile things. Now, verse 20. Tasam rati viharena shrantam vadani saha pramrijat karuna premna shantaminanga panina. O king, when the gopis were very tired from continuous singing and dancing, the most compassionate Bhagavan Shri Krishna lovingly wiped their faces with His soothing lotus hands. Now the commentary of Srila Jiva Goswami Pada Vaishnava Toshani. Rati Vihar means amorous enjoyment. Rati means the love of a couple for each other. And Vihar means expressing various amorous activities. So in this verse, Rati Viharena is written, but in some other places it's written in a different way. The Brajasundaris, they became fatigued from this amorous play, and their faces were perspiring. And with great love, Shri Krishna wiped their lotus faces with His comforting hand, and also tied up their disheveled hair. Thus their faces became effulgent. He did so because He is very compassionate, and He cannot tolerate the miseries of others. His compassion reigns on everyone everywhere. Yet He displays His special mercy when He very lovingly wipes off the perspiration from the Brajadevi's faces with His comforting hands. So it means that Krishna will always somehow try to comfort everyone, those who are surrendered to him, but in a different degree of spiritual advancement. He will do that in a different way. So we will not be able to, of course, have Krishna touching our face in our human condition like this. But somehow or other, he will manage to comfort us. But when we become so advanced as gopis, then Krishna will, with his own hand, he will comfort us. Every living entity in this material world is suffering. And because of that, is always looking for two things, comfort and security. Everyone wants to feel protected and wants to feel loved. But the only person who can do that in a perfect way, this is Krishna. So we are all looking for this comfort and this security on the arms of Krishna. Krishna does with love, and he also increases the affection for his object of love. So these gopis, they have reached the extreme limit of their ecstatic emotions. And this is the suppermost speciality of their love. And with this kind of love, the quality of compassion comes automatically. Prema is the sole reason for this. Krishna's lotus hand is naturally giving comfort only by their touch. And if they bestow love, they are even more comforting. So Krishna was extremely satisfied with the gopis. Now the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sarartha Darshini. Observing that the Braja Devis were very tired from their amorous play, Shri Krishna halted their romancing. He wiped the drops of perspiration from their faces with his extremely soothing lotus hands. At the same time, he fanned them, applied sandalwood paste, arranged their dresses, and offered them tambula. So this is how Krishna served the gopis after Rasa dance. Now verse 21. Gopyas purat purata kundala kuntala tweed gandasriya suditahas nirikshanena manam datatya rishabhasya jagu kirtani punyani tatkara ruha sparsha prabodha. Parikshit, the beauty of the gopis' cheeks was enhanced by the dazzle of their golden earrings and their bouncing curly locks. They honored Purushottam Bhagavan with loving glances and very sweet nectarian smiles. Extremely elated from the touch of Shri Krishna's lotus hands, they started singing about his glorious, auspicious activities. So now the commentary of Srila Jiva Goswami Pada Vaishnava Toshani. After this, the gopis, highly elated by the touch of Krishna's nails, increased their hero's bliss in three different ways. By their beauty, by their nectarian sweet smiles, and by singing his glories. The gopis' bright golden earrings and their lustrous, curly locks enhanced their beauty. They communicated their sentiments through their glances, coupled with nectarian sweet smiles. And they performed Sankirtan, singing about Krishna's glorious pastimes. In the verse 7 of this chapter, the best of Munis, Shukadeva Goswami, has revealed the gopis' relationship with Krishna by referring them to as Krishna Vadu. So why should we keep this secret? Therefore, in this case, Rishabha means husband of the gopis. He is their beloved and their enjoyer, Daita and Ramana. If we accept this principle, then their dealings with each other are not as married couple. But the gopis, they make Krishna very happy with their beauty and sidelong glances, and thus gave him the supreme joy. And he was now lamenting, Aho, it is my great fortune that these brides, Vadus, are honoring me so much. I brought infamy upon myself by abandoning such beloveds who are my own Swarupa. So the word Rishabha points out the super excellence of Krishna's pastimes. So the gopis started singing Krishna's auspicious and attractive names, form, and qualities. Their excellent singing ability was transmitted into the gopis by the touch of his lotus hands. Although the gopis themselves are completely expert in singing his glories, still they were silent due to their loving anger. So to inspire them, Krishna touched them. They were very tired from their amorous play, but they became most happy and sang with great joy. In the previous verse, and also this one, Krishna's amorous, passionate desire is shown. When one attains the pure state of spiritual existence, sattva, nothing will disturb his consciousness, even in the face of due cause. The first ecstatic symptom of this pure state is called bhava. Just as a seed does not germinate until the appointed time, even though there may be rain, similarly in the pure state of existence, bhava does not manifest until one is about to enter the adolescence and receives Krishna's darshan, which stimulates their bhava. The next stage is hava, which is symptomized by provocative gestures like tilting the head, arching the eyebrows, and casting sidelong glances. When this hava indicates amorous, passionate desires, it is known as hila. So we can see in that song Kripa Katakshi Stavaraja, it says hava bhava dhira hira hara bhushite prabhuta shata kumbha kumbha kumbi kumbha sustani. So this is describing the same type of stages that Srimati Radhika is manifesting, hava and bhava. So now the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Sarartha Darshini. After all this, situation happened, Krishna left, then again he appeared. All the Braja Devis, they had brought their lover under their control, and they came out from their kunjas and gathered together in one place. And they were decorated with jewel ornaments by their most beloved Krishna. They started singing auspicious songs to mark the end of the Rasa festival. All this has been explained in this verse. The cheeks of the Braja Devis were glowing with the movement of their golden earrings and curly locks. They were flashing nectarian smiles at the best of heroes, Rishabha Krishna. Overjoyed from the touch of his nails, these gopis were singing about Krishna's enchanting leelas, which purify the three worlds. Now, verse 22. Tabir jutta shramam apohitum manga sangha grishtasraja sa ucha kunkuma ranjitaya gandharva palibir anudruta vishadva shranto gajbir iba radiva bhinashitu. Bhagavan's forest flower garland had been crushed from the gopis' tight embraces and was colored with the saffron paste from their breasts. Attracted to the aroma of the garland, hordes of bees were buzzing all around him, and like the topmost Gandharvas, were singing his glories. They followed him as he entered the Yamuna in the company of all the gopis to alleviate his fatigue. Bhagavan Shri Krishna broke all barriers of social customs and Vedic morality and engaged in water games with the cowherd themselves. Just as a king of elephants who, weary from conjugal play, rushes into a pond or river with his consorts and sports in the water. So now the commentary of Srila Jiva Goswami Pada Vaishnava Tushani. So after all this, Krishna was extremely happy. And this verse and the next two describe his love-filled activities. Surrounded by the gopis, he entered the Jamuna to mitigate his and the gopis' exhaustion. And one might ask, how is it possible that Bhagavan got tired? So the answer is that tiredness comes when Bhagavan enacts his ambrosial, love-filled, human-like pastimes, being intensely absorbed. So the special intention of the phrase Anga Sangha means close contact with gopis, is that the bodies of the gopis who were worshipped by the four classes of women called Padmini, ladies, naturally emit a most exquisite fragrance. His crushed garland was smeared with the kumkum from the gopis' breasts, emitting an extraordinary aroma. These were intoxicated by this pure scent and were following Krishna. This indicates that this aromatic crushed garland was made of white kunda jasmine flowers, now even more beautiful due to the pinkish tint coming from the gopis' kumkum. All these ingredients are udipan for amorous play in the water. Desiring to continue their erotic adventures, he entered the Jamuna. And the example is that of a king of elephants who loves to sport with his female companions in the water. In the same way, Shri Krishna was attracted to play in the water with the gopis. Swarms of bees, singing like the best of Gandharvas, followed Shri Krishna. Gandharvas are the topmost singers. Thus it is understood that the bees were singing the most appropriate songs for accompanying water sports. With whom did Shri Krishna, in the grip of erotic desire, enter the water? With all the gopis who were wearing garlands that had been crushed by his embrace and whose bodies were smeared all over with their own kumkum. So, just as an extremely tired elephant displays his insolence by breaking the muddy embankments upon entering a body of water, Shri Krishna, showing the same impudence, entered the Yamuna with great fanfare to relieve his own fatigue and the tiredness of the gopis as well. Shri Krishna, whose body had been smeared with the extraordinary kumkuma from the gopis' breast, after he entered the Yamuna, her waters also took on this reddish color. Now the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sarata Darshini. Upon completing the Rasa festival, Krishna and the Braja Sundaris, they bathed and played in the water to alleviate their fatigue after dancing and enacting amorous arts. But with whom Krishna went? He went with those whose garlands had been crushed from Krishna's close embrace, and who were smeared with the saffron paste from their own breasts, in the rapture of the romantic rendezvous. Swarms of humming bees followed him, singing like the best of Gandharvas. Surrounded by the gopis, Krishna entered the Yamuna to relieve his exhaustion. Just as the king of the elephants breaks the muddy dikes as he rushed into the water with the she-elephants, in the same way Krishna, he transgressed the social etiquette in the Vedic and Vedic injunctions as he entered the Yamuna with the gopis for water sports. Now verse 23. Sombasyalam yuvativi parishicha manha premnekshita prahasattivir itastatonga Vaimanika kusuma varshiviri dyamano reme swayam swaratir atra gajendra lilaha. O Parikshit, in the Yamuna the gopis splashed water on Krishna from all sides and laughed loudly as they gazed upon him with great love. Seeing this, the demigods and their airplanes started singing his glories and released a shower of flowers. In this way, the self-satisfied Lord engaged in water play with the Brajaramanis like a king of elephants. Now the commentary of Srila Jiva Goswami Pada Vaishnava Toshani. So this verse talks about the water sports. Once they were in the water, they very expert, intoxicated Brajaramanis, who were ready to play, surrounded the supremely ingenious jokester Shri Krishna and sprinkled him with water on all sides. Internally also, his heart was melting from their love-filled sidelong glances. Externally, he was bathed with water, and internally with their love. Thus, he was fully absorbed in amorous delights. What were the Brajadevis doing as they were splashing water on Krishna? They were fully intoxicated. They were laughing, smiling, and gazing at him again and again. Shri Krishna began his amorous antics with them, making them wet inside and also out. Although he is Atmarama, he performed his supremely powerful lila in the water, just like a king of elephants. This Jalabihar lila, Krishna playing the water with the gopis, is very endearing. The demigods showered flowers from their airplanes and glorified Shri Krishna with choice hymns, broadcasting his supremely exalted position. They were able to see the Maharaj, but Yogamaya hid the confidential scenes of the Rasa Lila from them. Shukadeva Goswami addressed Maharaj Parikshit joyfully by saying, Krishna was with the gopis, was with his own people, means to whom Krishna is extremely attached. So this is the reason that he is not so much satisfied when he defeats the gopis. Rather, he prefers to be defeated by them. So Parikshit Maharaj asked Shukadeva Goswami, can you mercifully describe Krishna's water sports in detail? Completely absorbed in this lila, Shukadeva Goswami answered that I do not find any suitable example for this lila, so I am unable to speak in details. So here Shukadeva Goswami, he puts a limit because it has become too much confidential, so then he's not describing. So the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is quite simple. He's not saying much. He's just saying that Krishna is Atmaram, but at the same time he performed Leela with his very near and dearest gopis. Today is verse 24. Tatascha Krishno Pavane Jalasthala Prasuna Gandhanila Justa Diktate Chachara Bringa Pramata Ganna Vrito Jatamadachu Dviradha Karenu Bihi. Then Shri Krishna emerged from the Yamuna and started roaming in a charming flower garden on the river bank. A gentle breeze was blowing, making the whole atmosphere vibrant with the heavy aroma of all the blossoming flowers growing on the land and in the water. Surrounded by the Braja maidens and the bees, he seemed like an intoxicated king of elephants wandering about with his she-elephants. Now the commentary of Srila Jiva Goswami Pada Vaishnava Toshani. After the pastimes of playing in the water, now Krishna's roaming in the woods is being described. Krishna, he was intending to perform more romantic pastimes and further enjoying after taking bath. Therefore, he and the gopis, they changed their outfits and they put on new dresses suitable for strolling. So they moved here and there, picking flowers, playing hide and seek in the Nikunjas, and performing other amusing pastimes. And when they were plucking the flowers, the bees, they were flying around because although the colorful ointments decorating their bodies had been washed away while playing in the water, they were still emitting a natural sweet aroma. So Krishna, he was wandering like an intoxicated elephant among the bees and also the lovely gopis. Just like the elephant who produces one very aromatic secretion from his forehead. Krishna was also with this beautiful fragrance attracting everyone. Because Krishna was so fragrant, the bees were surrounding him. Now the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sarata Darshini. So after finishing the water sports, Krishna and the gopis, they dried off their bodies and they put on fresh clothes and ornaments brought by the forest goddesses. So accompanied by the gopis, Krishna, he started roaming in the small forest on the bank of the Yamuna, which is full of thousands of kunjas. And from all directions, there was a very aromatic breeze bringing the aroma of the flowers from the woods and also from the water. Krishna picked many flowers and put them into the gopis' hair. And so many bees, attracted by the fragrance of the flowers, they were flying around Krishna and the gopis. This whole picture was compared to the intoxicated elephant who is producing a very fragrant fluid from his forehead, which also attracts many bees, and followed by many she-elephants, he is moving in the forest. So in the same way, Krishna was enjoying with all his beloveds, just like the king elephant. Now verse 25. Evam shashankam shuvirajita nisha sasatya kamo nurata balagana shisheva atmani avaruda sorata sarvasharat kavya katara sarayaha. O Parikshit, this autumn night, which included many other nights within it, was extremely beautiful. The whole area was lit up by the moonlight and all those ecstatic ingredients of the autumn season that the poets describe were fully present. Bhagavan Shri Krishna performed transcendental pastimes along with his most beloved gopis on the bank of the Yamuna, in her waters and in the forest, and thus fulfilled his purpose. By this lila, he completely subdued Cupid, who derives his existence from Shri Krishna, as well as the concomitant actions and reactions resulting from mundane lust. So now the commentary of Srila Jiva Goswami Pada Vaishnava Toshani. This verse sums up the Rasa Lila that took place on the full moon autumn night. It also includes the Rasa Lilas that occurred in other full moon nights, as well as other amorous pastimes performed at different times. Sharat Kavya Katha refers to the subject matter inspiring the poets which is the moonlit autumn nights, which are laden with all kinds of ingredients for stimulating Shringar Rasa, when Krishna enjoys this ever-going dance festival of love. Each season of the year has its own flavor, and this special Rasa Lila night contains all these flavors in full. So it means every full moon there is Rasa Lila. This is a fact. And in every season, these rasas have different tastes. But the autumn full moon, it contains all the flavors together. Thus, Shri Krishna was able to perform this Rasa Lila with unlimited varieties of activities. In this word Sharad, which means autumn, all the 6 seasons are included. The verse says Sarva Nisha, means all these nights. It means that all Krishna's amorous pastimes, like going to the gopis' house, calling them for abhisar, and sleeping in the kunjas, are all included in this. All these pastimes, they happen both in full moons and also in dark moons. So all kinds of romantic pastimes which were going on, they are included. So poets from the entire length and breadth of the country and throughout the ages, they have recorded the descriptions of the autumn nights in their lyrical narrations to the best of their ability. Thus, their poems contains all the moods of the Shringar Rasa. All these moods, they were present in this Sharadiya Rasa Lila. And Krishna enjoyed them to his full satisfaction. But it should be understood that in all these poetries, the transcendental rasa is the primary element. There is no even a scent of mundane lust. So now one question may arise, that how Krishna enjoyed? So the answer is that Krishna, he enclosed within his heart all the gopis' gestures indicating their conjugal desires. And then he reached an unprecedented state of joy. Krishna was unable to ignore the gopis' invitations for meetings. No one special action on the part of the gopis actually attracted Krishna. Rather, it was the total of their expressions which attracted him. So it means there was no any one particular thing that the gopis did that attracted him, but everything they did attracted him. So in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:58, there is one example of this. It says, Bhagavan Devakinandan is Atmaram, self-satisfied. Yet he enjoyed conjugal affairs with Rukmini Devi, performing human-like pastimes and engaging in love chatter, means Saurata Samlapa. So why did Krishna lock up in his heart all the gopis' gestures indicating their amorous desires? So the answer is this. All those fair maidens were obsessed with love for him. And all their actions were arising out of anuraga, means deep loving attachment for Krishna. The main reason is their transcendental love for him, and not the mundane lust of this world. Shri Krishna is Satyakama. His desires are spotless, devoid of any scent of any fault. Sri Parashara Muni and Vaishapayana Muni, they have said that in this way, encircled by the Braja Gopis, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, who is the abode of happiness, attains supreme delight in the full moon autumn night. Sridhara Swamipad said that Krishna enjoyed all those nights, in the beauty of which is recorded in the poems glorifying Shringar Rasa. But he kept his erotic feelings tucked away inside his heart and did not let them flow out as ordinary humans are wont to do. So this indicates his victory over the Cupid. One may question why he has not done this. It should be understood that Krishna, he was not under the dominion of Cupid. So now the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sarartha Darshini. So this verse summarizes the autumn night Rasa Lila, which includes a great variety of activities. Due to the influence of Yogamaya, the nights were brightly illuminated by the moon and sheltered all kinds of ingredients favorable for Shringar Rasa. In this way, Shri Krishna, he derived great delight in performing confidential Rasa Vilas in Vrindavan, taking advantage of these nights. Shri Krishna is the subject of all these activities. That is why all these nights offer themselves to him for his pleasure, for the performance of all his amorous affairs. It is to be understood that Krishna accepted this service with great honor, just as the devotees respect Mahaprasad. So means Krishna, he accepted the service of the gopis with so much honor and respect. His romantic, the lines are not mundane, rather they are transcendental. Satyakama means that Krishna is the original, ever-existent personality, replete with transcendental desires. All the Brajagopis, they were completely swayed in his love. Shri Krishna was fully engrossed day and night in his romantic pleasures with them. Transcendental amorous play is symptomized by Atmani Avaruddha Shaurata, which refers to Krishna keeping within his heart all the gopis displays of amorous feelings like Hava, Bhava, Vibhoka, and Kilakinchita. Their Vyabhichari Bhavas such as Bhamya, contrariness, Atsukya, eagerness, and Harsha, joy. Their Sattvika Bhavas like Stamba, being stunned, Sweda, perspiring, and Vaivarna, changing the color, as well as the Anubhavas of Darshan, seeing, Sparshan, touching, Samlapa, conversing, and Alingan, embracing. So these are all symptoms of transcendental romantic play. All these emotions are hinted at in the phrase Saurata Samlapa in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:60-58. Bhagavan Devakinandan, imitating human-like pastimes, spoke love chatter and enjoyed romantic delights with Rama, the goddess of fortune. So the word Samlap, it denotes general conversations, but in this special case it means romantic talks. So the word Surat includes all romantic gestures and feelings. Krishna, he made use of all the nights of the 12 months. And what was the nature of those nights? These nights were surcharged with all the ingredients of Sringara Rasa, which are depicted in the poems describing the autumn nights. The Amarakosha dictionary defines the word Sharat as all 6 seasons of the year. So this particular Rasa Lila night sheltered all those poetic narrations of the 6 seasons. All the pure-hearted Rasika poets have described in their lyrical compositions Shri Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes, predominating by Sringara Rasa, that took place in all the nights of the entire year. So, and they include all the ancient poets like Vyasdev, Parashara Muni, and also the more recent poets like Jayadeva, Lila Shruka, Govardhanacharya, and Rupa Goswami. However, they could not cover the subject matter fully. I am also unable to completely describe all these romantic pastimes that Krishna performed. This is the end of the purport of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo. Haribo.